Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. The only live show transporting you back to the 80s, where we play, hear, and sometimes even see the games that you've been checking out since 1971. We were last checking out on the TRS-80 color computer, Donkey King. The best way to play Donkey Kong at home on anything right now, other than, of course, the arcade, but this one had all 4 screens, and I was pleasantly surprised. I couldn't believe this existed. So with that, let's see what our next game is. On a completely different side of the spectrum, here on MS-DOS is Draw Poker. That's right, Draw Poker. Let's take a look at the box. This one is by Avalon Hill and Microcomputer Games, part of their arcade pack too, when it really is an arcade. It's 5-card Draw Poker. You flip it over the back, and that's pretty much it. It's a poker video game. We don't really deal too long or too much with any casino-style or gambling-style games. We do have the manual for Draw Poker, and it's legit. It's on lots of other systems. You can see Atari, the Atari home computer, Apple II, the Commodore PET, the TRS-80, and even here on MS-DOS. So the one that we're going to be checking out is only going to be MS-DOS. It tells you what poker is and the different playing hands for poker. Oh, yeah. We've already played a few games here on the channel that allow you to do other card games, including poker, but this one's just poker. Yeah, I know, not really the super amazing title you were expecting. Let's play some Draw Poker. Up to this point, we've already seen about 9 different poker games, or games you could play poker with, but they've been around since 1978. This is why I wanted to boot the game up. It is another contender for one of the best songs we've heard on IBM PCs. Listen to the crisp PC speaker. It sounds so good. It's too good to be true. I know, but poker's been around for a long time. There's even probably poker games before that, at least video games, of course. We played Draw Poker. This one's available first on the Apple II, and then if you look way back, we have Blackjack and Poker we saw on the TI-99, and then Poker Tourney. That was, we gave 3.5 stars, which is really well done on the Atari home computer, and then casino games too. So let's see what this one's all about. Each player starts with $2,000. Opening bets are raised the limit to $100. Cards are discarded. Okay, great. What's your name, friend? Can I do, yeah, lower and uppercase? Because we're playing on the IBM. Chrono. Hi, Chrono. I'm lucky. My friends are Shifty, Ace, and Slim. Each player Annie's. We got a shuffle sound effect. Nice. I know. I really enjoyed that PC speaker sound. That's really the only reason I wanted to boot this game up. That's it. There's no other reason. So lucky checks. Slim. Do you see the 50? Yeah, I'll see that. Sure. How much do you want to raise? Let's raise 0. We won't raise anymore. I'll call. So you can see what we got. Just a pair of 4s, ace high. Not much there, and then you pick which hand you want to discard. You get the idea. So here's the graphics. This is the high-res look of the IBM PC, but that's pretty much it. There's nothing much more I want to show for Draw Poker. Casino games, we kind of pass by them. They're very similar to whenever we play games that are early childhood or educational. So Draw Poker would have been okay for the time, but there's other options for home computers out there. Not nearly as much as you think, but still, if you're have a hankering for a card game or a gambling card game, the best one right now is Ken Uston's Blackjack. It's not poker, but it's still around the same range. So I still got to say, of all the games you could be playing on a home computer, this one's low. I'm going to have to say bad of all the titles so far. Yeah, I know. Avalon Hill definitely was the poor man's SSI. I'm with you there, Charlie. And this one is not really done as well. It is kind of quaint where they have a character that you're playing as with other people at the table, but it is one player only. So this would be if you have no other friends to play some poker, you can do this one. So I'm going to have to say 2 stars of all the games so far you can play on home computers for Draw Poker. If you got a hankering for poker, though, it might be right up your alley. All right, and with that, let's see our next game. We're still hanging out on the IBM PC. By the way, the top left says MS-DOS. It could be still PC-DOS at this time. It also could be PC Booter. So because this operating system is found on lots of different computers and clones of computers, we're just saying anything that could be played on anything like that is going to be incorporated with MS-DOS. And this is Droids. Another one that's very obscure, just got a few screenshots for it. Let's pop it and play some Droids. This is by International PC Owners at the beginning of September 1982. That's true, Manly. There was a lot of reading. There's a lot of text mostly on these IBM PCs. There you go. Press any key to continue. Welcome to Droids. Do you want instructions? Yes. What in the world is droids? Droids are used to hunt minerals on the planet Mercury. The humans on Mercury play this game with 4 droids on a field which contains valuable ore. The ore looks like this, which is one single pixel, looks like our character in adventure. Do you want to see the game board? Yes, we do. The droids are named A, B, C, and D. Going in turn, players go around. Oh man, it must be a puzzle game. Sounds like an obscure puzzle game for 1982. Move the droid and collect the ore. You get 1 point for each piece. Oh, so slightly strategy as well. I think we've only played one other game similar to this where you're having to decide which one's going to get the most points. Any player can move any droid. Got it. To move a droid has the direction. Wow, we actually have to type in the direction. Yikes. Get 1 point for each and continue. But I got to tell you, I'm still having fun playing games like this because if you imagine up to this point, everything we've seen, this would be still fun to play if you had other people with you. Yes, these are not the droids we're looking for. I love it, Rich. How many players do we want? We can do 1 to 4. I'll go and do 4 players. And we write, yes, names of the players. We'll do Chrono is here. Welcome, player 2. Last person in chat was Manly will be there. And then Charlie after that. And then Rich. We're all ready. Chrono, type a droid symbol. So if I wanted to get the most points, I'll do A. And then I put the direction I want them to go. I'm going to have them go north. And you can see A goes up, and I collect points. And so now it's up to whoever's next, their decision. You play hot seat style, switching out. Manly's going to go and say which one of these movements is going to get you the most points. We're going to say C, going west. So bizarre doing it with a text parser because we played a game like this, but it uses an interface where you can select and then move them, like with a joystick. This one's all text or all keyboard. Okay, so then Charlie makes a decision. What's going to give Charlie the most points? Oh, got to go C and go north, right? It feels like I'm playing an adventure game, though. Typing in the cardinal directions. Yes. So this one is not really... This one's more like the puzzle games I'd expect to see at this time, but we have played much better. Snark Attack is one of the ones that surprised me as far as a puzzle game that does more than this. All right, so next one, Rich is up. Select droid A. Let's head east. Get all those points. So you see how it works. You pick from a selection, and then you're getting the points based on how many you can pick up. And once they're picked up, that's it. And then you win the game and have a good time. So there you go. That's Droids, a quaint, interesting puzzle game. I still would say it wouldn't be the best time. If you think of all the games you could see up to this point, I'm going to say subpar, possibly. If you have friends to play with, maybe, but I'd love to hear from the chat. Of all the games you've seen so far on home computers, would you give high marks to Droid? Would you say this one, or Droids, would this be an average game of all the games you've seen so far? I say around average, because there's obviously better ones you could play. Bartow's going 1.5, yeah, I see bad, or down there in the bad range. 2.5, yeah, around average. Curtis is going 2. Yeah, I have to give this one 2. It's quaint, it's fun, but there's a lot more better games you could be playing on home computers, and even puzzle games you could be playing. Yeah, and especially if you had other people, but yeah, there's not different boards. That's all you have. That was the only one. Not a lot of variety there. All right, and with that, let's see what our next game is. It's not a game at all. It's the latest issue of Electronic Games magazine, or issue 7 of Electronic Games. Let's get stuck in and check it out. I really love this magazine. It is the gamut of everything we showcase here on the channel. Everything handheld, everything arcade, everything for home consoles and home computers. It's all right here. Take a look at this front cover. This magazine is telling us that pop culture in video games is going to mash up together. We've seen a little bit of pop culture come in video games, and this is the cusp. Like Tron was the first big one to go in the arcade. We've already seen it for home consoles, and it's going to invade even more than that. Oh, right, yeah. I love it. The Conan on the front. He's already out there. 1980, I think, was the movie for Conan. Yeah, this has everything. Video games, computer games, standalones, and arcades. And look what they got for pop culture. Spider-Man, which we haven't seen yet. It's coming soon on the Atari VCS. Superman, we've already seen on the Atari. And then down here we got Tron. We've seen the discs of Tron in television. And then look at here at the front. Better control for your games. Improve your score with a custom joystick. They're already advertising if you have a better joystick, you'll be a better gamer. Like that ever worked. Yeah, and Othello. Why'd they put Othello on the front? Are really people clamoring to play Othello in 1982? All right, let's crack it open and see. The first ad we've seen before. Have you played Atari today? Not today, but we will. There's a lot of the games, and that's where most people are getting their titles. Atari. on the Atari VCS. So on the left side is the table of contents. We're going to just breeze by the table of contents because we'll be going through the whole magazine. Over here, we got an ad by Apollo. Check out the artwork. Another reason I love electronic games is how well done the artwork is. Even if it's for something boring, I bet when we go to Othello or the page with Othello, it's going to look fantastic. So this is Space Cavern. Apollo is the second third-party publisher we saw after Activision on the Atari VCS. And we haven't seen Space Cavern yet. It's coming out at some point in September. And here's the ad, so we'll be seeing this one really soon. I'd love to check that one out. Another space shooter. Artwork on the front looks really nice. Yeah, so epic. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, Manly. Yeah, Conan the Arcadian, definitely. So here by Arnie Katz is telling us all about the rules that they want to make up for gamers, because there's been lots of copies or people making copies or software companies trying to rip off or doing homages to other video games. So they've made what they call the Electronic Gamers Bill of Rights. Number 1, every game, tape, disc, and ROM cartridge should perform as specified by its advertising and packaging. Okay, that makes sense. Number 2, every game should be original. That is, the design should be more than a licensed copy of an existing electronic game. I don't know. We've seen so many copies of Pac-Man out there. Number 3, every computer game package should state the required memory capacity needed to play the game. The type of control unit, whether you need joystick, paddle, keyboard, or some combination, used by the arcader, and the system or systems in which the game media will run on. In addition, there should be a photo illustration or a diagram of the principal video display somewhere on the package. And then number 4, every electronic game should come with a complete, well-organized set of instructions that cover every essential element the player needs to know. That means have a really good manual. Number 5, the publisher of any electronic game should stand ready to replace any newly purchased copy which is unplayable due to faulty workmanship. And we've seen that in some magazines. Number 6, an electronic game should be completely free of programming errors and should not require repair or modification by the gamer unless such modifications are implicit. So basically, number 6 throws out most of the TRS-80 color computer games, because you've already seen some of those that you do need to go in and make some changes or poke them, if you will. And we also have seen on the Atari home computer games that were so buggy they got replaced several times. I'm looking at you, Crystalware. Yes, right. They still haven't done number 6, Victor. That's true. And then number 7, every coin-operated electronic game in a commercial amusement center should be exactly as shipped by the manufacturer, modified only by the manufacturer or licensee. In other words, independently produce extra boards which distort the original play, raise the odds that should not be used. So there we go. They just made this up. It's fascinating to see this in 1982, are already giving some rules of what it should be. And then right here, the Pinball Palace, they're going to start talking about pinball here in this magazine. On the show, we don't showcase anything involving pinball or mechanical games. We only do strictly video games here. Video pinball, though, we hit up quite a bit. So this magazine is going to even start talking about pinball. How about that? Over here on the right, we got Astrocade. Astrovision is the company that's in charge of it right now. I don't think I see Bally anymore. So the first system, Bally was the manufacturer, and now it's been taken over, with Astrocade, the professional arcade. So far on the channel, we played 29 Astrocade or Astrovision video games. 29 games so far. It's very small if you think of all the stuff we played on Atari, that's for sure. Oh, that's a good point, Neb6. Yeah, use the poke command to speed some of the games up. And we haven't done it on the channel, but every now and then I have someone in the chat, especially Curtis, yelling out, quick, make this faster if you can, because they did run a little slow. All right, let's flip on to the next page. Here's the Electronic Games Hotline. And this one is all the coolest, most exciting things happening. So just imagine in 1982, September, what's the coolest, exciting stuff that's happening? The first one is the Emerson unveils the Arcadia 2001. We've already seen this system because it was released in other regions, specifically in Europe, first. And so we've already seen and played some games on the Arcadia 2001. The Emerson Arcadia 2001 is the name that they called it in North America. So it's coming out soon, or it's going to be unveiled soon. So far on the channel, we've already played 19 games on the Arcadia 2001. We called it the Emerson, but the games we would have played would have been on the system called it by a different name. Oh, right, yes. So look at that. It's telling us about the system. And the Arcadia 2001, if you think about the market in North America, another console, this isn't helpful. We really shouldn't have another console coming out. And look at the screenshots. The screenshots don't do it any justice. It looks worse than the Atari VCS by these screenshots. There's been some okay ones, like the Pac-Man variant Cat Tracks down here at the bottom. So another 20-year scheduled to appear in 1983. Yeah, it's not going to do well. Sorry, Emerson Arcadia. Then we have Marauder. Oh, this is about Tiger Vision and the games they're bringing to the Atari VCS and then some other systems. We've already seen Jawbreaker, King Kong, and Marauder and Threshold. Haven't seen River Patrol yet. I don't believe that one's going to show up until 1984. It's bizarre they're showing it here, though. Yes. I don't know if it's the same. It's not the same Emerson, but it would be funny if it was. And Jawbreaker's a pretty fun time. At least the one that was on the home computer scene. Jawbreaker on home computers was like Pac-Man. When it comes to the VCS, it's going to be something that looks a lot different. And then up here at the top, we have Pac-Man reigning supreme as the coin-op or arcade game. The joy continues unrefined offices of manufacturers of Pac-Man. Namco Midway, this started it all. It's still #1, they say here. And they do a reader poll to see which one's the most popular. So as far as arcade games, that one's still on top. Star Raiders, they say, is the top for home computers. Wow. The hottest new video game cartridge appears to be Demon Attack. That's the one we just played last episode. Invasion style game is what they call it. Invasion style game. It's funny also hearing the types of genres they throw out for video games at this time. Oh yeah, Pac-Man fever is so strong right now. There is no cure, at least for us. I'm still wanting more Pac-Man variants. And even though we played over 60 to 70, I think, total Pac-Man style games, it's still fun. I still enjoy it. For new games, they got Star Strike for Mattel and Television. That's the one that's like a trench run style game. I think we're going to find an ad for it in the magazine later. Then Yar's Revenge. Oh, lacked only a few votes to qualify for the list. Yar's Revenge should be up there. And then Miss Pac-Man is 4th position, and that they're going to have the table showing off these games coming up soon in the magazine. And then coming down here, we have also Arcadia unveiling the VCS upgrade, the Supercharger. We've already seen this on the show with the first few titles. Some of them are very impressive. They make the Atari VCS give it new life, and they work really well. Lots of fun for those, so check them out. And I think they have, it tells you what it's changing your system from 128 bytes to over 6,000. Very nice. And there it is. Oh yeah, that's the crazy named one. Almost the most generic to play though. Communist Mutants from Space. It's a left-right shooter. Definitely plays better than something like Duck Patrol. What was the name of the duck game we played? I remember it had crabs in it. Obviously not memorable. And then over here we have, which I think this is bizarre. I guess they're covering everything, including handhelds. Simon Champ, and we're talking Simon the handheld champ. Frank Modick, a 24-year-old student from New York City's Columbia Medical School, has taken enough time to become the proficient champion of Simon. I didn't even know there could be one. The United States Simon Championship. He took home $10,000. Wow, I should have paid more attention playing Simon. Deadly Duck. Thanks, Marshall. And then over here we have how far did he get though? It doesn't say. How much do you have to memorize Simon to get $10,000? I'd be curious to know. Okay, let's flip on to the next page. Bizarre. All right, on the next one we got, oh, here we go. Tron and anything involving pop culture. Disney's Tron is the latest craze as far as video game movies, the only one. And then we also have, oh, this is talking about Superman. And there he is. Superman 3, I think it is. Yeah, upcoming Superman 3 movie. Imagine when Superman 3 was going to be new. The evil genius that imprisons Superman is not Gene Hackman, it's Richard Pryor. So this one's more like pop culture information. We've already seen Superman on the Atari VCS using a very similar engine to Warren Robinette's Adventure. And no, we haven't seen Dragon Stomper yet, Charlie. It's coming out before the end of the year, I think. Oh, I know. The franchise going down. Was it still exciting now? Because if you think of Superman 1 and 2, I really enjoyed those. Especially the second one. You got Zod. Everyone loves Zod. Kneel before Zod. And right here is more competitions coming up from Activision. This is the competition for ice hockey by Activision. And there's the 2 winners there. Does it show what scores they had to get? I don't think so. But it's just fascinating thinking that you could be a video game professional, like even now in September 1982, reading the magazine, even though you probably didn't have a chance. Yeah, maybe, Charlie. Then we got some more by Activision. Leading software manufacturer. It is the #1 third-party publisher on the Atari VCS right now. Stampede, which we've already seen. Pitfall 2. Star Masters is their special tournament. And this one is for Greatest American Hero. Yeah, the competition for Activision is fierce. They're the ones that bring you the patches if you do well enough. Maybe it was. I don't think it was I think it was Superman 3. Yeah. Look at the hairstyles. It's like perfect for 1982. The guy on the right is the mustache, and the guy on the left has the fro, or almost fro. So here you go. Electronic Games top picks right here. Most popular video game cartridges or the home console games. #1 is Pac-Man on the Atari VCS, and they're going by sales. I don't know if they're going by ratings from people that read the magazine. Then Missile Command Adventure, Demon Attack, which is brand new by Magic, Grand Prix, Kaboom, Asteroids, Major League Baseball on the Intellivision. So look at that, all Atari VCS for the top 7 slots. And then Super Breakout is Atari VCS. They only have 2 Intellivision games up here, NFL Football, Major League, and then KC Munchkin on the Odyssey 2. For computer programs, #1 still Star Raiders, at least they say here. Then Missile Command, which Polaris on the TRS 80 color computers should be up there, because that was really good for Missile Command. Then we got Jawbreaker, Online Systems, Protector. We've seen all these. Ghost Hunter was on my list. It's fantastic. Castle Wolfenstein. And I think Empire of the Overmind, it's okay, but it's really not there's a lot better graphic adventure games or text adventure games with pictures than Empire of the Overmind that you could play. I wonder if they just pick one and latch onto it, because it's all right. It's not really the best. And then Wizardry at #10. What is going on? It should be higher in the list. And there it is for Coin Op. What is most popular in the arcade right now? Pac-Man is #1. Defender, #2. Donkey Kong, yes. #3, is it tied then? Miss Pac-Man and Donkey Kong? And how did they determine what the most popular Coin-Op video games are? Yeah, I know. It's kind of once you buy it, then you realize you really didn't want it. I'm with you there, Nib6. Yeah, Donkey King is brand new, and Donkey King possibly was released in December of 1982. Yeah, Crazy Climbers should be up there. I'm with you there too. Yeah, at the very, very bottom of the arcade games. So amazing. And then also look at the manufacturers too. Still, we have one Nintendo is there from Japan, but then Crazy Climber is the only other one from Japan. All the rest are North American arcade cabinets. So cool. All right, let's flip on to the next page. We got an ad for Phaser Patrol. Excellent shooter. And this one is another one. Yeah, Supercharger on your Atari VCS. We already played this one on the show. Excellent. I would still give the nod to Demon Attack. After playing that one, it's a very good game, but I would say Demon Attack has a slight nod. All right, over here is the reader's replay. Everyone's going to write in and ask, like, this one would like more strategy in the strategy session. Yeah, that's just complaining. Or they want more commercial arcade games. They want different games. And then this one is for Mattel's Major League Baseball on the Intellivision. We noticed that something Mattel overlooked. The dugouts for the home and visiting teams are on the wrong sides. What? Someone's pointing that out? And the designers were like, oh, I guess we missed it. Sorry. For a baseball game. And there it is, Deadly Discs. We played it on the Intellivision. And look at the other one is Solar Sailor, which we haven't played yet. We'll see that one before the end of the year. And over here, more coverage for the TI-99. The biggest peeve I have about your magazine is you neglect one of the other computers, the Texas Instruments TI-99. Someone mentioned that here on the channel. You neglected or have less of the Texas Instruments TI-99. It honestly doesn't get as much love. So look what they said. They said our computer game coverage includes the TRS-80 color computer, which barely covers the TRS-80 color computer, the VIC-20, again, barely, and the Apple and Atari. And we'll bring other systems. But in the case of the TI, we have repeatedly tried to get their company to provide materials for review. Sad to say, nothing concrete has happened. So they said they reached out to Texas Instruments and they didn't reply back. Maybe that's why we don't have a lot of information. Yeah, maybe they didn't. And that's probably why the Rainbow magazine is more popular. Or whenever you want to read publications for a certain computer, you need that specific magazine. Rainbow for the Coco. I'm not familiar with what it would be for the Texas Instruments home computer at this time. Yeah, and you've showed me all those magazines, Curtis, for the color computer. It's just a lot to cover, and you can see here on the show, we're trying to cover and play everything. So this magazine it's covering a lot of ground. It's doing lots to get all the categories for video games, but there's still so much. Thankfully, here on the show, we're trying to hit everything and not miss any video games. So there's plenty out there that we could be that we could play, and we're going to make sure we cover them all. Yes, right? If you don't reply, sorry, you don't join the club. All right, so more writers writing in. Oh, which video games are close, like Atari's Pac-Man and KC Munchkin. Both positive and negative things about the cartridge. The joystick about Pac-Man's limitations. I'm the owner of the Atari VCS, and I was wondering if the cartridge of the VCS will work on the new Atari Super Game System. Ooh. Cartridges for the two Atari units can't be swapped back and forth. Watch for details on the new Atari Super System. They're referring to the Atari 5200, which we're going to see around October. It's so close. It's so exciting, but I know it's going to happen. Just don't ruin my dreams. And then we have a devoted electronic game player and owner of Atari VCS interested in designing new games. I know basic programming, a good knowledge of electronics, and a good artist. Hey, Chris Snyder, did he end up doing anything? I wonder. And then for Atari's remote control video computer system, it's been scrapped for the new Super Game system, or the 5200 is what they're gonna be calling it later. So if you wanted the remote control Atari, sorry, you don't get it. They'll be bombarded with software from half of those releases. Wow. There it is. The different game controllers on your Atari VCS. Wow, and a big spread over here. Look at this. An advertisement for Dig Dug in the arcade. Yes, totally awesome. 5-star arcade game. I don't believe I've seen this ad anywhere. When we played it on the show, we didn't see it. We were also playing the release in Japan. Yes, maybe if someone is on the chat and you're in electronic games, that'd be awesome, Hunter. I know it should have been released much earlier in Ned 6 because we've seen them talk about this from the beginning of this year. Like it's going to be coming soon. It just didn't get released. Kept getting pushed. Having some fun playing some Dig Dug. Wow. All right, let's flip on to the next one. More Q&A from the Game Doctor. This one doesn't do what other magazines that we've showcased on the channel do, and that's not doing technical help. Like it's not giving people code to write in. This is more of actual just questions and answers. I'm a reader of the magazine and think it's great. The only thing lacking is, this is questions and answers about the magazine. At least that one is. I owned an Atari VCS before I bought my first issue and thought the games I could buy for it were Atari and Activision cartridges. I would like to know if you can give me the address of the Imagic Company. The address of the Imagic Company? To follow retailers and stores? What? There are many companies producing video game cartridges for the VCS. Yes, there are many companies. The Game Doctor has trouble keeping up with them all. Yes. Yes, we do, even here. Look what they tell about what's available or third-party publishers. Coleco, Parker Brothers, Arcadia, Comavid, Telesys, US Games, Mattel, Tiger Vision. Now, US Games, we haven't seen a game from them yet. We're going to be seeing that at some time in the beginning of September. Yes, I don't think the ad was accurate for that one. That's awesome, Victor. Yeah, follow retailers at stores, I guess. And then this one, that someone's asking, I'm going to buy an Atari 400. I'd like to know if Activision cartridges can be played on that system. No, it's a computer. You can't play on that system. Activision cartridges will not run on the Atari computers. And I don't believe we're going to see them anytime soon. Alan Miller's 4-player basketball cartridge. Yes, they would love to play that, but you can't. Sorry, you can't. There it is, basketball. Sweet. I have 2 questions. One, why are arcades changing from the use of quarters to tokens to operate their coin-op machines? Yes, I'd like to know too. Why? I think it's because it makes it easier for the manufacturers, but pretty good question. And I didn't know they were switching, or some places were switching to tokens this early. And then mentioning, hey, look, they have a reference to Analog Magazine, which we also read here on the channel. There's Threshold, another one by Sierra Online that's come to the Atari VCS. And then we have, please tell me everything you can about Atari's System X. I want to know what that is. What's Atari's System X? Right now, there isn't much to tell, James, beyond the fact that the system is currently being dubbed the Super Game. It'll be called later the 5200. There'll be 12 initial cartridges, including sports and familiar arcade titles, Centipede, Missile Command. Unfortunately, at Electronic Games, we have yet to personally test the system. They don't even have a copy of the system. The graphics are quite similar to those on the Atari 400 and 800, and that's because it's pretty much identical. Really close. Will you please clear up the silly talk about video games ruining TV sets? Yeah, I think we've cleared that up here on the show. All right, let's flip on to the next page. So many questions. Playfield was similar to Gobbler Eyes. Yeah, we'll both have Atari VCS. And I like to have both an Atari VCS and in television. I'd like to know if I can hook up the 2 different switch boxes at the same TV. Oh, that's cool. Anybody have one of those RF switches back in the day where you would switch back and forth between multiple consoles? Yes, that's what it is, Charlie. Yeah, that's right. Tokens look cooler. It's like when you go to Disney World and they give you Disney money. It's cooler to use Disney money than it is to use real money. All right, so we got company produces Space Invaders. Does it have a copyright? And yes, that's a good question about Space Invaders. If people make a lot of games based on Space Invaders, does Space Invaders or Taito get the money? No, they don't. I'm an Odyssey 2 owner. Wonder if I plan on making home versions of any commercial arcade games. Oh, poor Odyssey 2. Yeah, they didn't get as many arcade games home, and so you have to go to other consoles for that one. Yeah, some people collect those, Curtis. I can understand why. Why doesn't the Atari offer a full-size keyboard for the VCS? I think they were going to, because it's the video computer system. But it never did. Unless you want to count that keypad that they use. You're supposed to be getting the Atari home computer, the 400 or 800. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a dumb question. Got some random ads around the side here. Let's flip on to the next page. And this is the test lab. This one is all about switching up the video from RF to RGB. That's right. And they give you this example here. Direct video can change your screen display from something that looks awful like the left to something better on the right. And I really can't tell the difference. It's difficult to get a capture of a CRT screen. But man, pretty cool they're talking about it now, though. So this is how you can mod your television to get that higher quality graphics. Pretty cool. Flip it on the next page. Oh, wow. They have a lot of info about how to do the mod and what the cost is. That's pretty cool, though. They're already talking about changing the way it looks on your CRT to make it clear. Because at this point, I would still be using RF. Going from channels 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, depending on where you are. The VCS does have a basic cart, Curtis, and you would have to use those little keypads to work it, but it's not ideal. It's not the best way to do it. And then over here in the bottom right, we got an ad for Airstrike, which we're going to see coming up at the beginning of September. So, or maybe at some time in September. So Airstrike is around the corner. Looks like it's something like Scramble. We'll see if that one is up to snuff with all the other ones out there. Oh, by 1983, Rich. Okay, we'll have to look out for that. Yeah, I was using RF all the way through the 80s. I had no idea what this other high quality graphics was. Okay, so over here on this page, this is all about better control for your games. Bill Kunkel's article is going to give us some more examples of, you can see the stick or optional sticks you can play on. The video command. Whoa, that's the old Channel F one. Look at that. The stick from Datasoft is Atari compatible. I'm not familiar with that one. The Channel F one, though, we've been playing on that one. We've actually pretty much exhausted the Channel F games, if you don't count all the homebrew and later releases. All the official ones, we played everything on the Fairchild Channel F. And then over here, this is the console-style controller, Atari's format for the BC Company of Melrose. What is that? For button, Best Buys for button actuation. Over down here at the bottom is the Zircon paddles for available Alpha Command paddles, paddle controls. And then here's the Starplex console controller. Electronics of Spokane. Over here is Zircon Super Stick, non-centering controller for the Apple II. This is a rugged man's controller, whatever that means. And then right here is, hey, the Astro K. There it is. It's the joystick / paddle. It'll be available for other video game systems with special adapters. Hey, thanks, Hunter. Appreciate it. Fascinating, because they're actually looking at history here in September 1982 of even older joysticks. They're talking about the Odyssey 2 joystick as well. And they're going to break down even more. Let's flip to the next one. Oh, yeah, great. See, look at this artwork. It's so good. Everyone fighting over the joystick. And this is also incorporating customized joysticks too. They're testing some of the products, and then they talk about paddles, volume switches, Alpha Command, and not just official paddles, other ones that you could get too. So this is their breakdown of control with video games right now. So we got keypad, which is for Atari VCS, games like Hangman and Mastermind. We did a terrible job showcasing them here on the show because most of the games you have to have the pads themselves. Otherwise, you're just going to be using, like a keyboard. Then you have the rage right now, because even ColecoVision is doing this, which is the keypad and disc. Well, I guess ColecoVision has the slight joystick at the top. Yeah, you can get modern paddle controllers that'll be adapted to your computer to play. And so that's possible. But the keypad disc is ones we see a lot on in television. And then the newer Emerson Arcadia 2001. Then we have the keypad joystick. And this is what they plan to do with the Atari Super Game, or the 5200. And then control consoles. Arcade-bred gamers, where you want the full setup for the arcade. Very nice. Yeah, I don't think so, Manly. Yeah, I'm with you. Look at that. The artwork, you can tell someone had to do all the art for it. It's fantastic. I don't know if it was considered... the Power Glove is a different beast. I'd be really interested to know if something like that is available right now. But the other one that I love is the trackball, used primarily with Centipede. And then there's several other titles we played here on the show. And then hybrid controllers, like Astrocade's Gun Grip controller. And then the ColecoVision controller. They say soon to be released. It's like brand new. And then Arata. Master stroke of the VCS adaptable extension cord. And they say what's up next is the Astrocade controller on the VCS or in television, or being able to swap controllers from one system to another. Yeah, I'm with you there, Charlie. Same. That's the controller I love to use. And that's why I really enjoy the Atari home computer. You just take the same controller from your Atari VCS, put it in the computer, and then you're playing the games. It's fantastic. And there you go, Atari 400. Only $269 right now. Yes, that's right, Manly. if you were ingenious enough to think of that. All right, let's flip on to the next page. Here's strategy session, and it's not about strategy video games. All this is a strategy on how to play games, and this is about Pac-Man on the Atari VCS. I got a strategy for you. Don't play Pac-Man on the Atari VCS. And then over here we got Astro Smash on the Intellivision. There it is. Astro Smash is like a combination of playing Space Invaders and asteroids. You're moving left and right and shooting, and then you shoot the asteroids and blow them up. It's all right. Look at the artwork, though. Wow. Astro Smash. Doesn't this make you want to play Astro Smash? I want to see everyone get smashed just like that. We are in the age of imagination. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's so fun. Oh, yes. A gimmicky controller. I'm with you, Victor. Yeah. All right, let's flip on to the next page. And we also have the strategy session for how to play better shooting gallery on the Atari home computer. Again, excellent artwork. There's the example, too. Shooting galleries, very well done. Simple, though. Left, right, and shoot. As if you're at the carnival. Very nice. And then over here, we got a subscription, or how to subscribe to electronic games. Subscribe now. I definitely would. This one is the #1 best magazine in 1982. Very nice, Errol. All right, flip it on to the next one. This is Inside Gaming. From computer hater to game designer. And they're talking about David Mullich. David Mullich is one of the designers behind The Prisoner, which we've seen. It is a unique take on the adventure genre or graphic adventure game. We've already seen Prisoner and Prisoner 2. And then he has also done... he enjoys Dungeons & Dragons, and he's also done the Space 2 and then the Empire games. Empire 1, World Builder. And this article is just talking about how he's thinking about these games from a different perspective, and how I do agree that these games play very differently, but the execution kind of falls a little short, just a little bit. Got some excellent artwork here. Is that supposed to be on Empire 1, the World Builder, here in the bottom right? It looks like a developer for 1982. Like if someone said, "Quick, I need a picture for a developer of 1982," there he is. That's it. It's perfect. And I believe in the background there it is on the Apple II. I think that's the first Prisoner 1 that's being played back there. Very nice. All right, flip it on to the next page. Whoa, look at this. The soundtrack of Tron. And includes the new Journey song. Buy it now. All right, so the front cover was Pop Culture Meets Electronic Games, and this is it. They got some screenshots of Tron in the arcade, which we've already seen. Taking the world by storm. Let's see what other pop culture references they have for us. Oh, wow, this is amazing. Comic books, obviously. Now, bear in mind, we haven't seen any video games based on this so far. There has been nothing on X-Men, nothing on the Hulk yet. There's been nothing on Spider-Man. The only thing I can say for licensed games is the world of handhelds has already hit us. We've already played lots of licensed games, but in the palm of your hand. Nothing on console, nothing on the arcade, or nothing really big on home consoles except like Superman, I mean. Oh, yeah, that Journey game we have seen. Yeah, that's something. Yeah, we've already played the Journey game here on the channel, too. So over there's a picture of Star Strike on the Intellivision. It's like the trench run from Star Wars. Pretty fun. And then you can see what's coming up or what they're expecting. So it's like Electronic Games has already seen some of the development of games that are about to show up and know there's going to be this big boom of pop culture video games. And they have Empire Strikes Back, which we've already seen on the Atari VCS, Parker Brothers one. And look at this. Parker Brothers has already picked up the rights for a game based on the next installment of the Skywalker saga, Revenge of the Jedi. That's a really cool nod to Episode 6. At this point, I think they haven't even referred to them as the episodes. But the third Star Wars movie, Revenge of the Jedi, which was what was first going to be called before they changed it to Return of the Jedi. Wow. Yeah, Superman on the Atari VCS. What else do they have for pop culture? Atari Superman 2. Wait, Superman 2? And then they say, of course, Superman 3 is about to be coming out. Oh, no, we're going to see that one later. That's right, Victor. Yeah, isn't it amazing how they're talking about licensed games? This is so big. This is going to be great. If we can get all of our movies and pop culture into video games, just it's like they're inviting them in. We need to tell Electronic Games to stop. Please don't invite licensed games in. So we also have Quest for the Orb with Conan the Barbarian. And Conan the Barbarian is a huge influence on video games. Since that movie, we're going to see tons and tons of barbarian-style games, or more and more people with no shirts on and muscles upon muscles. You look at the front cover of Electronic Games now, and he's not buff enough. The guys we're going to be playing in video games are going to be huge. I think G.I. Joe, that's coming up too. Yeah, we'll see some G.I. Joe games. Pac-Man Fever is still strong. Oh, here we go, Tron. Mazatron. We're going to be seeing that one soon on home consoles. Deadly Disc, which we've already seen, and then Solar Sailor will be coming up later. So they're hitting up with Tron video games. Yes. Curtis, you speak of the future. And another supercharged your Atari, but a different way. All right, let's flip on to the next page. Here's some shopping you can do. What's this store? Where is this from? United Video of America. Look at they say, what's hot? And what's new? We've already seen all these games. Oh, and then what talks? What's coming? Utopia, which we've already played. The Dungeons and Dragons game. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. At least coming to this store. And then you can see by Activision. Oh, Mega Mania. We're going to be seeing that right around the corner. Mega Mania should have been played by now. And over here with releases on Coleco, Donkey Kong, very nice, and then all the ones by Imagic. All those right around the corner. We're going to be playing lots of games on the console coming up soon. And then Spectravision, Gangster Alley. The only one on Spectravision I think we played is China Syndrome, if I believe. Yeah, I think that's correct. Our next article is the Player's Guide to Mazes. A whole genre in itself, but they don't call it that. Yes, maybe this magazine is, Victor. They brought us LJ in. Man, the artwork is fantastic. Look at this. Running. Oh, this is what they refer to as gobble games. So, like you're playing a kid in a candy store. Because a lot of times the Pac-Man games, you're running around a maze eating things. Take the money and run. Dodge them, Slot Racer. Pac-Man the Champ Chomper. Yes. Before Pac-Man, though, the dot gathering games, Head On by Sega, I believe was the first one we ever saw, where you're in a maze. I know you're driving, but you're picking up all the dots all the way around. Oh my gosh, yeah. It is look like Nightmare Pac-Man. Take the Money and Run was okay, but there you go. Casey Munchkin, great way to play it at home. And then Ghost Hunter they talk about here. That one's even better. Now, this one up here on the top right, Munchie, I think is that the game we played on the Atari 800 where you're a dung beetle or something like that? It actually looks like similar graphics to something we'd see on the Astrocade. But Munchie, the name doesn't come to mind. I'm not familiar with that one. Jawbreaker is another one. And there you go, Dodge 'em and Dodge Racer right here in the bottom right corner. Let's flip on to the next page, and this is Shootout in the Labyrinth. So now you take the maze game and you add some shooting. And what do you get? Berserk, they're saying, is the pioneer of this one. And Thief, Slot Racer. Oh, yeah, that's right. You could shoot in Slot Racer. Slot Racer was done by Warren Robinette, too. I don't think they say his name here. Yeah, we've now seen the whole new level of video games that take this formula like Berserk and then add an exploration style to it, where you're flipping screens over and over like pages in a book. I know, doesn't it feel like it's them talking about it and also showing the history about it, but it's all still so new. And this magazine is really showcasing how cool this is to everyone at the time, because this is all still fresh. Here on the channel, we're playing all the newest games right when they come out. But obviously, people are still playing the stuff from before, from late 70s and early 80s. Well, we're in the early 80s. But even though we play something when it first comes out, doesn't necessarily mean it's gone. People are still playing it. And they even bring out War of Nerves. That's not really a shooting game. That's more of a quote-unquote real-time strategy game. All right, let's flip on to the next page. Oh, crazy shootouts here at the top. That one's all right. And then the secret mazes. Are they going to talk about first-person perspective mazes? Oh, they have Captivity. Yeah, there we go. So that one's a first-person perspective maze. I don't know if you remember Captivity. It's not a very well-done first-person maze game. Very, very slow. There's a lot better ones out there. Then we also have, oh, here we go, incorporating role-playing elements like Rescue at Rigel, and then Adventure on the VCS and the Haunted House. This is fascinating. Gosh, look at the artwork. That's so cool. Imagining you're a pirate in the maze when you're 1 pixel. Oh yeah, good point, Victor. This genre is gone. We're going to see how it evolves. Because when you think of a game that is a top-down maze game, Adventure was allowing you to have some kind of a role-playing elements to it. And then we have this blending of genre where graphic adventure games, or the text adventure games with pictures, now give you some graphics. Think of the Crystalware games we played, where you're exploring, moving around a larger world. And we're just going to get better and better graphics from that. And then Thunder Island, we've already played that one too. Quest for the Rings, really an maze game. I don't know why that one slips in here. All right, let's flip on to the next one. No way. Maze games in the arcade. Tutankhamun. Some screenshots of actual arcade screen. That's pretty nice. And then Beyond Berserk. Oh, Frenzy. Wait, Frenzy we should be seeing pretty soon then. If they're talking about in the magazine, that's coming up. It's got to be around the corner. Really excited for Frenzy. If you love Berserk, then Frenzy's the sequel. All right, let's keep going. There it is, buying television. Big 2-page ad for Star Strike. And then now we have the Computer Playland. And they're going to talk about air traffic controller video games by Avalon Hill. That's right, Controller. It's not believe it or not, it's not the only air traffic controller game you could play right now. It's not the best. But over here, this one is a fascinating ad. This is Arcade Plus, the makers of Ghost Hunter, which I rave and rave about here on the channel. But these are 2 games that you really can't find. Night Rally is a really hard to come by Atari 800 game that eventually we're going to be playing on the channel for a game. It's going to be changing its name to Baja Buggies because Arcade Plus is going to go out of business, or it's going to be bought out by another company. And we will see Night Rally. It just won't be called Night Rally when we play. But over here on the left, Arcade Pro Football, this doesn't exist. If anyone knows where a copy of this game is or how to play this game, I would love to play it. I mean, look at this. It looks like a really good football game, but I have no idea where this is. This is another lost or missing game. And we've already seen racing games that do that, Victor. Good point. Night Driver goes from this perspective. But really, I need everyone for a shout out to find Arcade Pro Football. Where is Arcade Pro Football on the Atari home computer? It doesn't exist. Yeah, please let me know, Charlie. All right, let's flip on to the next page. Oh, more for the computer. Guardian. A maze shootout. It's coming up. I don't think we've seen... Yeah, we haven't seen Guardian yet. So we'll be playing this on the show soon. That looks really fun. Is this the artwork for Guardian? What are we shooting? Green Pac-Man over here? So cool. And hey, Snakebite. So we've seen this one. Snakebite is a Snake variant. It's a very well done one on the Apple II. Let's flip on to the next one. And here, yeah, there it is. Snakebite. And then Graph Spee. Everyone was raving about it in computer gaming world. Wow. So much time and effort put in the magazine. It is a work of art. It's so good. Yes. It's crazy. What in the world is this? Frog. Oh wait, this is about polo shirts. Why is this in the magazine? All right, we'll breeze on to the next one. some models modeling polos for nerds. I don't care about polos. I care about video games. All right, for coin op. Yes. Robotron 2084. Fantastic. And then coming up, we've already seen Defender and Stargate. What else is going to be new? Yeah, Robotron is fantastic in the arcades. And then over here, yeah, an ad for Tron in the arcades with the glowy joystick. We already played that one. 5 stars, easy. Yes, maybe because it's the 80s, right? All right, flip it on to the next one. Oh, yeah, Locomotion. We've already played this one. This one is by, okay, published by Century. I believe Konami did this. And it's like the sliding puzzle game with trains. It's okay. Not doing us any favors there. And then, yeah, you can see there's the playfield for Locomotion. And, oh, no way, I don't believe it. Look at this, artwork for Fantasy. So Fantasy, we've already seen in Japan first. It was brought to North America by Rock Ola. This one is an amazing arcade game. 10 screens, and it changes up the gameplay. So if you want to check out the links that we have down below for all the games we've ever played, look at Fantasy. Fantasy is an incredible arcade game. Yeah, I'm with you on there, Charlie. All right, so flip it on. You can see, yeah, they're showing all the screens for Fantasy. Everything that you can do and play in the game. And then Zaxxon Revisited, they re-review it. Because of the weak control system, we gave it a 3/4 perspective, or they didn't give it the best review for Zaxxon. Kind of funny. And we got an ad for Tunnel Hunt. We've already played that one too by Century. Very fun. And then they usually showcase an arcade, an actual arcade. Look at this, the Galaxy. Wow. Pinball cabinets everywhere. Whoa. An arcade from 1982. Very fun. Man. The arcade was where it's at. So exciting. For their adventure section, they're going to talk about Kabul Spy by Serious Software. Kabul Spy is okay. It's a graphic adventure game, but there's better ones that Sierra Online has done, in my opinion. Or from Scott Adams, some of his renewed ones. But look at this. Spy artwork over here. So good. And here it is, Stargate. How to get better and play some Stargate. You gotta have that. Stargate is extremely difficult. Oh, and Galloping Ghost. Yes, in Chicago. It's still huge, yeah. All right, flip it over to the games library. Look at this. We got some ads here. We'll keep going to the next one. Next is the history of pinball, which I'm going to breeze by it because we're not hitting on any pinball or mechanical systems. It's like at this point, the dying art of games because video games are going to start taking over, but we still see pinball. I see pinball all the time. It hasn't completely gone. Moving on to the next one. I know it was magical, Neb6. It was. This one is their handheld section, and they're going to talk about the Intex Select-A-Game. This one we couldn't showcase on the channel. You can't emulate this one, but they talk about Baseball 4 and Pinball. We kind of talked about the Intex Select-A-Game, but couldn't put in the palm of our hands and play it. But it is the second ever home or handheld that you can have interchangeable cartridges. Thanks for the tip, Curtis. Appreciate it. And then flip it over to the next one. Oh, it's the Othello. Look, I knew they had cool artwork for Othello. What's the best 2-player strategy game that's simple enough to learn in 5 minutes? 40 million Othello players can't be wrong. 40 million. We played Othello plenty here on the channel, and we're not done with it yet. And over here we have Triple Action by Intellivision. We played that one. It's essentially like Combat on the Atari VCS that you can play on your television. And we have Space Jockey, Chopper Command. Space Jockey, I think we're going to be seeing soon. We haven't played that one yet. And then Demon Attack ad over here on the right. We just played that last episode. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're good. We're good for Demon Attack. Yeah, and it is right. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Demon Attack did not have the boss for the VCS version. Like Phoenix. Oh, and here we got the other titles by Imagic. Oh, so good. Thanks, Imagic. That's true, Victor. So we got Chopper Command here, Incredible Wizard, a fantastic way to play Wizard of War at home. And it just keeps going. Man, Electronic Games is on fire. Freedom Fighter for the Odyssey 2 we'll be seeing in the next few episodes here on the channel. Lots to look forward to and play there. And then for the standalone scene, they have the wristwatches. Did not have these. Look how tiny it is. Tiny video games on your wrist. We will not be playing those here on Chronologically Gaming. And Head-to-Head Baseball, we have played that. The Fortune Teller, no, not going to play that one, sorry. But we have played Cosmic Combat over here on the left. It's alright. I wouldn't give it the best. And they have the reader poll. Want to see how everyone feels about Electronic Games. We love it. Next issue of Electronic Games we got for the preview what they think is going to be out for 1983 already. That's pretty fun. And then a Player's Guide to Electronic Football. Customizing Coleco Pac-Man. Very nice. And then Spectravision, the other third-party publisher for your Atari VCS. We'll be seeing more of those. Concluding with Chopper Command. If you got the guts, we got the game. And we did. We have played that one. That's a lot of fun. So there you go. Electronic Games Issue 7. A fantastic read. So much fun, especially if you enjoyed video games. This would be your go-to magazine. All right, so that's where we got to put our video game playing and reading on pause. Thanks so much for joining me, going back in time, seeing what it's like to be excited again. Remember holding these magazines and reading, expecting, like looking forward to the newest console or newest system. ColecoVision is out, and there's a lot more coming out. And I'm looking at you, Vectrex. They didn't point it out here or preview it here, but we will be seeing that system too among other consoles as well. So tune in next episode where we got a new mustachioed character that's going to make their debut, and it's not Mario. That's it for today, and like I always say, please stop publishing games for the Atari. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.